The Iowa Hawkeyes are one game away from being national champions. What an incredible season this has been for the Iowa women, and an incredible run after that loss back in late February to Maryland on the road where they got stomped. This team has responded like I don't think anyone expected. Maybe the girls on the inside of this program, the coaching staff, etc. I can say with confidence that I did not expect this type of a run and response. Kudos to Lisa Bluter and company. I'm here to give you my thoughts on Iowa LSU in the national championship and some keys for Iowa to figure out a way to crown themselves as national champions. But first, I want to remind you to check out our sponsors as always. And I've been touting Iowa floor covering for a long time. If you've got a project coming up, perhaps a self-installation project, a DIY project, check out the offers here at iowafloorcovering.com. They've got this tough core, click together, 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring. It's available by visiting iowafloorcovering.com/DIY. Great rate, folks, with this self-installation type of flooring, $269 per foot with self-installation, courtesy of Iowa Floor Covering down in Bondurant, right in central Iowa. And Ascent Nutrition, I've been touting their new products. They've got great stuff, folks, whether it's their Ascent coffee, which I drink daily, or perhaps it's their new mushroom products. For instance, they've got their new agarikon mushroom, which is used to support respiratory and lung health, along with immune system health and neurological health. It also promotes a healthy inflammatory response. Plus, they've got their new organic lion's mane mushroom. You see it on the screen here, which has been shown to support brain health, memory, healthy stress response, and overall immune system health. You can mix both of these mushroom products into yogurts, juices, smoothies, cereals, granola, and other foods quite easily. And boy, just a great all-around deal here, because you'll get a discount through us here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. You'll use the code Hawkeyes for 15% off your order. Plus, you'll get all these awesome benefits, plus you're supporting our sponsor. So it's supporting us. It's just a great all-around deal when you support our sponsors here, and this is the deal with Ascent Nutrition here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Visit goascentnutrition.com. So the Iowa Hawkeyes with an incredible run throughout the month of March. And yes, for the first time ever, the Iowa Hawkeye women will be playing for a national championship on Sunday. Just absolutely incredible. Congratulations to this whole staff. I'll say this to lead this discussion off, and this is only going to be about a 5 to 10 minute preview. The bottom line with this game tomorrow, I think you watch this team against South Carolina on Friday. I think Iowa has proven to the world that they can beat anybody. And if they could take down the number one team in the country in South Carolina, a team that was on a 42-game win streak, they are capable of taking down a very talented, very athletic, and long LSU team. They're not as long and athletic as South Carolina is, although Angel Reese is really good. This is a game Iowa can win. And right now, last I checked, Iowa was, I think, a 1-point favorite. This should be a really, really good game. What Iowa needs to avoid is allowing that Friday win to become its national championship. And I don't think they will allow that to happen. I don't think they'll get caught up in the moment. Obviously, there was lots of celebration on Friday night, deservedly so. It is a fairly quick turnaround. Late finish on Friday, then you jump back in a little over 36 hours, 38, 39 hours, somewhere in there. You're jumping back on the court to play for a national title. So Iowa literally had to flush this South Carolina win quickly. That's one thing Coach Gary Close texted to me at the end of the game yesterday, and Coach Don Patterson, former Iowa football offensive coordinator Don Patterson, who knows a little bit about the big moment and knows what it takes to be successful in back-to-back athletic events. Both of those coaches emphasize the importance of not allowing Friday to become too big, because you still have one game left. There's still business at hand. As much as this team has already made history, they've got an opportunity to make even more history, something that has never been done in the history of this program and may never be done again. I'd like to think that this won't be the only time this program wins a national championship. And, you know, with the way Lisa Bluter is driving this program right now, along with Jan Jensen, who knows? But they've got an opportunity to do something incredibly special this Sunday. So what's it going to take to be victorious over LSU? I mentioned their link, Angel Reese, leading scorer in the SEC, leading rebounder in the SEC. It's amazing we talk about Aaliyah Boston as much as we do, and she is phenomenal. But Angel Reese averaged over 23 points a game, nearly 16 boards a game, and almost 2 blocks a game for the LSU Tigers, who They were a 3 seed in this tournament, but for the year, LSU is 33-2. A big part of that 3 seed is they had a weak non-conference schedule. They are better from outside than South Carolina is. They don't have anybody that blows you out of the water, and that's probably for the best. Iowa really can't hone in on anybody specifically. We saw Iowa basically tell South Carolina yesterday, we don't believe you can hit threes, especially people like Raven Johnson, who hit a few. I give her credit in that second half on Friday, but she also missed a few. I don't know that they're going to be able to play off of LSU's perimeter players like they did against South Carolina. Angel Reese is really good. Sanano's not giving up 4 inches like she was on Camille Cardoso. So I would expect Iowa to try to play Reese straight up at times and bring double teams and pressure at other times. But I'm guessing Iowa will mix it up considerably, and they really didn't do that against South Carolina. It was basically, this is the scout. We're jamming everybody down and making South Carolina beat us from outside. Of course, South Carolina, for the most part, could not do that, and Iowa found a way to overcome a flabbergasting rebound margin deficiency to somehow win that game and get into this game against the Tigers. But again, LSU, very athletic. Angel Reese, terrific. I was really impressed with Alexis Morris yesterday. She's averaging 15 on the season, 15, 4, and 3 on the season. And she's had a really, really weird career. She started off with Kim Mulkey at Baylor, had some legal issues a couple of different times. I think she transferred to Rutgers. She's kind of been all over the place. Maybe Texas A&M was on the list as well. Her career has kind of come full circle, and she's playing the best basketball of her career and looked really good on Friday night against 1 seed Virginia Tech. The Tigers needing a comeback to win that game. Flau'jae Johnson is a capable shooter from outside. LaDasia Williams is another post that gives you more size. She's actually listed a little bit bigger. She's, I think, listed at 6'4", so a little bit taller than Angel Reese. Maybe not as skilled around the paint, but really good. Jasmine Carson can make threes. This is going to be a challenge because Iowa, again, is not going to be able to just sag off three-point shooters because I think they'll get burned if they do that. But they'll mix things up. Lisa Bluter, Jan Jensen and company, they're going to have to figure out how much do we want to double team Angel Reese down low, and can we keep Monica Sanano out of foul trouble? As much as foul trouble was a factor against South Carolina, we saw it for Boston, Aaliyah Boston, and Monica Sanano. She's gotten in foul trouble here last couple of games. I think foul trouble, that's my first key, folks. Sanano avoiding foul trouble. They've been able to overcome foul trouble to Monica Sanano in these past couple of games. But, you know, you look back at this game against South Carolina, they were able to deal with that because they had the ability to bring people, jam the post, and make it hard for whoever was in the game, whether it was Sanano or Grady, Stolke, whoever. It was hard to get clean entry passes down low, although they were getting offensive boards, plenty of rebounds off the glass. They made it more difficult because Iowa was committed to sending a second or third body down there. I don't think they have that luxury against LSU. So all of a sudden now either you're going to be forced to do that more once Sanano is out with foul trouble, or you're putting a heavy load on someone like Hannah Stolke or Addison O'Grady. So avoiding foul trouble, which is going to be difficult to do, that's my number one key for Iowa to win this game and win a national title. Second key, I've got to go back to the turnover battle. I had given you 3 keys heading into the South Carolina game. I said Iowa needed to make 10 threes and limit South Carolina to 5 or less. They did not hit that 10 3-point mark. They did limit South Carolina to less than 5. But again, they did not meet that criteria if you're going off the keys that I gave you for my preview. And then I also mentioned the need to be able to not get beat on the glass by more than 15. They got killed on the glass by 24. The one stat I could say I was correct about, I guess, is they did win the turnover battle. Convincing win in that category. I think that's going to be big. We saw LSU force 18 Virginia Tech turnovers. It's a pretty solid, efficient Virginia Tech team. LSU will get up in your stuff. They've got athleticism. Again, maybe not as much size as South Carolina, but they do have athletes. You look at Kateri Poole. She gives you size, girth, just physical mojo. It's going to be interesting to see how Iowa deals with her defensively. She's not going to score a ton. She can make threes when she's open, but Kateri Poole was impressive on Friday night as well. But again, can they win the turnover battle? I think will be just huge. And honestly, I'm going to go away from the rebound discussion for my third and final criteria because Iowa, you can call it a fluke if you want, they proved that they can overcome a colossal rebounding deficiency like they did against South Carolina, and they can win games that way. It's incredible, but they were able to do that. I don't know that they can get away with it to that extreme against LSU. By the way, LSU, I believe the second best team in rebound margin all season across the country. So South Carolina's 1A and LSU is 1B as it relates to that category. So Iowa should struggle. They'll struggle on the glass against LSU. Fatigue could become a factor. But here's my third key for Iowa to win this game. And it comes down to the free throw line. That's a category that proved to be huge against the Gamecocks. The Hawkeyes not missing a free throw, going 14 of 14 from the free throw line. South Carolina shot decently well from the free throw line, but 9 of 13. That proved to be the difference. Iowa making 5 more free throws than South Carolina proved to be the difference between winning and losing. Iowa, of course, with a 4-point win. LSU struggled to make free throws against Virginia Tech. Just 63% from the free throw line. Did get there 16 times, but just 10 of 16 from the free throw line. I would have to think if Iowa can have a 12 of 14 day or a 13 of 16 day, and they can beat LSU from the free throw line by at least 4 or 5 shots, that gives you a really good chance. Obviously, getting to the free throw line is important. Virginia Tech, LSU, even in foul calls, you wonder. I did think that officiating was poor at times against South Carolina. I thought there were some bad calls that went against Iowa. The jump ball call late where McKenna Warnock got tied up, ridiculous call. I thought Caitlin Clark got fouled a couple of times, was not called. But I will say this. That is a game against South Carolina, against Aaliyah Boston and the defending national champs, a team that had won 42 straight games. This is against an LSU team, and although Kim Mulkey's obnoxious and she'll be in the officials' ears all night, I don't think she's got as much sway. I think the Caitlin Clark effect will help this game to be more balanced from an officiating standpoint. I'll be interested to see how it's officiated, how much physicality is allowed. I think the officials have been pretty quick to blow the whistle. I just don't know that it's always been the right call. Again, the tie-up call, I thought, against South Carolina was ridiculous. But that's the nature of the game. I think there's some rules that need to be revisited during the offseason. But again, those are my 3 keys. Can Iowa keep Monica Sonato out of foul trouble? Can they win the turnover battle? And then lastly, can they win the free throw battle? And that's not just a matter of free throw percentage. It's a matter of getting to the free throw line more. So limiting your own fouls and drawing fouls, and of course converting once you get to the free throw line. I know these seem like simple facts, but pretty eye-popping numbers. The LSU Virginia Tech game, the free throw margin, a category that LSU struggled with against Virginia Tech, and they weren't great from the free throw line during the regular season. That's an area that Iowa should be able to win, and if they're going to win this game, they ought to win. And the bottom line is, I hate attributing some of this to heart and soul and effort and want and desire. But man, when you hear Caitlin Clark talk about that and Lisa Bluter talk about that during the game, after the game on Friday, you just start to think, man, this team has got heart. Whatever that means, like this team's got heart. They overcome a 24 rebound difference against the Gamecocks. Maybe all these stats will be wrong. Maybe my keys will be totally off and Iowa will win anyways. Certainly no guarantees, though. Again, LSU is just as hot as Iowa is, right? They've had to win how many games to get here? 5 games just to get here anyway. So we'll see what we shall see. History has already been made. Even bigger history, more consequential history, groundbreaking history for this program, this university, could be coming here in just about 24 hours. I will be with you live, folks, following the game with special guest Chase Coley. Former Hawkeye forward Chase Coley will join us live for Iowa postgame coverage following the national championship game between the Hawkeyes and the Tigers down in Dallas. Join us live following the game on Sunday, which will tip off at 2:30 p.m. Central Time from American Airlines Center in Dallas, televised on ABC. We'll talk to you Sunday.